Okay. Yeah, very serious video today. Obviously, going off of everything else. Yeah, my apologies too. Unfortunately, that well, it is about because if it does sound like in the background, it is picking up about the rain. So again, my apologies for that. Unfortunately, because yeah, we know how lately. Kind of shocked too. It has been yeah, I'm kind of shocked because yeah, it is summer, so I mean, thankfully it wasn't that hot, but yeah, it's been raining a lot, so yeah. But yeah. Once again, I apologize for if you hear rain in the background. Kind of cooled down right now, but I don't know how it can be any time that it can speed up and go into absolute oblivion. So yeah, just want to give you a heads up there if you hear a lot of rain in the background. But yeah, so I'm really going to go off on it really too. 'Cause like I said, it's one of those days. It's one of those since we'll be getting ready to really dig deep into it right about now. So yeah, I just really want to sit back and just talk a little also. But I mean, you see everything else, the thumbnail and the title. So yeah, you pretty much know what I'm about to get into. But pretty much, I do want to kind of course, just going off this, I want to revisit in the future. But it's kind of like responding to something and really want to talk about something in regards to YouTube and just everything else. But I want to be just as subjective and really detailed and everything like that. But like I said, this is just more of a really personal kind of vendetta too, and just stuff like that than more of just of the subject that I'm discussing today. And but yeah, getting into it. That yeah, if you saw my post or didn't already know by now that uh, it's pretty sure people also too, because I get that people also was watching Millennial Smart, and as was I too. He was probably only one very few YouTubers too that I just not only that he was a character, very wholesome personality, but yeah, I really enjoyed his views on when it came to not just in general, but professional wrestling. And yeah, being it also too, like I said, it's controversial, especially being a discussion nowadays. It's much more controversial than it has been in the past. Like I said, it's not a new thing, but when it comes to just in return from his very controversial, blunt, especially I would say, because like I said, I couldn't care less about politics, but being that whatever you are, like whatever the terms are now, which is liberal, left, right, whatever you want to call that nowadays. People are calling political terms nowadays, but his point of view was very very blunt, controversial, and just when it came to his opinions. And like I said, it took me. It's kind of I said it's very hilarious that being that when I came into it first, that of course I didn't take much regard, much more. I was kind of being new in the game to him being that. So at first I didn't really get along with his content, but I said as time grew on, and I actually watched his videos, and or a bit more so basically like like I said, like a campfire, or just sat around and to really got to really listen. And as far as his of course his point of view goes, I see I saw for what it was. And that's how, because he's also just he's a part of the inspiration. He's one of the very few that's been on the internet, or just their just everything surrounding kind of the reason why I'm on here and why I have a voice on this platform. Why, like I said, at first I wasn't really thinking. In the beginnings, I wasn't really into it like that. I say I can care less about it even still to this day. But Also, cause I didn't really even think. Like I said, I was thinking about it and really, really thinking about it, but not really to that extent to want to be on, broadcasting and really go on to YouTube or just the internet in general. But yeah, like I said, I definitely have like major respect for guys like Millennial because yeah, he really like yeah, because of guys like him, I this is why y'all able to hear and see me today. The reason just like I said, like the inspiration to why I carry myself the way I do on the internet and why I exist on the internet. So, and just personal shout out, like I said, whether you saw I have just out post or just you probably already know at this point, if not any, that yeah he's of course he was already had the attention of YouTube, but like I said, I'm pretty sure we know at this point when it comes to YouTube and just the whole the political narratives that they have as how much corruption and just anything you want to call out when it comes to in regards to YouTube. That yeah, YouTube at this point is it's like everyday life now when it comes to politics. Just like saying that, and it it's gotten to the point now where you like either you push their message and you be you be what they want, what the basis that they push out, or if you're not, then of course cast it out. And yeah, if it's not a part of what they're trying to deem and trying to sway with the public, then of course we already know what happens with that. So, and like I said, major shout out to, and just I hope I really come across and to really like, or maybe someday that maybe run into Millennial, or I just pray that kind of not still give up when it comes to as far as like using a voice. But yeah, Millennial was one of the ones that I really treasured and really listened to as far as to opinions, because like I said, unless unless you're unlike me, that we know how just like with everything else, we know how bad when it comes to just people, and we know how the game works, and especially in the culture of YouTube, if you want to talk about professional wrestling again in this case, and how at least from my at least from my point of view, I can say that, like I said, Millennials was very few that I can listen to, because a lot of them now has become, and just overall the landscape now is just, of course, like I said, with everything else, is just whether it's just it has to do with like to like what's the word? Oh damn it! Trying to whatever as far as like like putting their personal gain as far as that to in front. Yeah, best way I can put it. Or as far as like we know how just when it comes to just how people, it's many factors that go into it, but yeah, when it comes to the wrestling social space in general, at least coming from me, it just feels like it's not that distinctive and unique, opinionated. As far as like I said, it's very like, or if I can sum it up, it's very, it's much of just a complete, just an echo chamber of individuals that were in regards to, if it's not for their personal gain, then of course it's all about brainwashing and which their individual or the agenda, the current agenda, and everything that goes into that. But so like I said, there's also a very few, but that I enjoyed. But Millennial was one of the main ones that, as far as that, if not that, I still enjoyed about wrestling, and just from another wrestling fan's perspective. But as far as one of the only ones that I really paid attention to like that, as far as to having their own uniqueness of opinion. And like I said, you can, and just judging from this situation, what it, and what we just talked about in like as just now, when you look at society today, and you look at just everything else, whether it has to do with, like I said, just like whether it has to do with religion, beliefs, morals, of course, the entertainment, the industry, just like I said, it has players into everything. When you look at the current agenda, in which when it comes to of now, and like, yeah, it's catastrophic. Like I said, I don't. Of course, it's not that it's a new thing in regard when you talk about this sort of thing, but at least I will say that I just feel like, yeah, just it's just my perspective, but I feel like there hasn't been a time now, whether you want to say the 50s, the 40s, even way back, whichever Pacific period, or like 70s, 80s, but I feel like there's never been a time like right now in the modern era, which times we're living in now, like that it has been as political because it's in plain sight. Like I said, of course, like I said, like when it comes to politics in general, of course, but as far as looking around and really seeing, it's not, especially like the people behind it, because I feel like it's much more emotional. It's much more geared towards of trying to, as far as that, it's trying to really, not just like I said, not just brainwashing, but as far as to, really what I said, like it's just based off emotion and just really, chaotic, and trying to, as really get a lot. Yeah, a lot goes into that, but yeah, never has it. Like I said, like, I just sticking to that, but I'll sticking to that, but yeah, I feel like there's never been a time like right now that it has been more political as it is, much more agenda based, much more political, much as we're living right now, where I feel like, and because like I said, like it's plain up in your face, and you can just see it. Like I said, whether you want to talk about anything, the entertainment, the like I said, I mean, as far as entertainment goes, I want to say everything. Yeah, because like I said, yeah, because you also have the internet, which is pretty much that is that helps, and that's it's much more of a broadcasting site, which of course I can agree to, and other people say that of course you just it's not that it's like I said, not that it's a new thing, and it's just now you're seeing it on the internet, but yeah, that's just how I feel, that it hasn't been much more. There hasn't been a time I feel like where now it's just where it's real, like we're really in danger of being, as far as politics go, and as far as like just overall to get, whichever what is the agenda, the current agenda today, being that of course the LGBTQ and current, just toxic feminism and things among that nature. That yeah, and that's just how I feel. But and it's like we just gotten to a point, in period where like we just have gotten to a point in period time where you have relationships, you have you have you have females, the opposite gender, breaking, like you have relationships just crumbling, or just automatically like ending from the fact that they don't agree with, or yeah, because of a fucking film, because of a fucking movie. And it goes beyond it. Like I said, it's just people might think it's beyond that, but yeah, it is beyond that. Because whether just it's just a movie, but yeah, like I said, it's at that point where you have people, if it's not where, if your opinion is not aligned with that, if your personality is not aligned within that of themselves, then yeah, it's just like it's automatically struck. And it's like we're at that point. We're at that point now where it's just it's the norm to want to, you have to think like everybody else. And yeah, that whole, like I said, like just talking about, and it's just to a point out of hand. And you know, it's much more different, and that's it. It's very, just very, very dangerous. Very, like I said, not I never knew how much important it is to when it comes to just history and just really thinking for yourself, and to not feed into lies or somebody else's perspective, that that whether you believe that, can you actually believe if it's true or not. And yeah, like I said, politics, and you know I said whichever you want to say. It's just plainly where I just think about it. Everything is politics. Politics is almost inescapable now, because like I said, you have the internet, and I mean, of course, you can put it down, but it's not like you can. Like I said, because it's just at a point, of course, technology where it's just easily accessible, and yeah, and it's just politics run rampant, and politics is just everywhere, to the point where it's just completely inescapable. And it's almost impossible to escape politics everywhere you go. And like I said, regardless of that, it has to do with everything. But yeah, like literally everywhere, whichever way you turn. And that's a thing where you just have to look at it, and yeah, that's where I said how I feel now. And that's just the main point of this. Like I said, I don't want to repeat myself, but the main, like I said, of course, where you're getting from this, but yeah, politics, and you look at, politics are ruined. Politics are just, they're dominating right now. Like I said, whether you want to look at it, whichever agenda you want to bring up, it's just, yeah, politics to the point now where just, because like I say, you have internet to where it is today, and anybody could pick up a device and just see, and they can get combusted with anything. And this is where it's at. It's most dangerous, because it's not like you can just, to where like the brainwashing, or like I said, whatever, just whichever the term, but it's very catastrophic. And like I said, to the point now where it's just, you look at, and yeah, it's impossible to not look, and everywhere you look now, it's you're being shoved with something that almost, it's just like that it forces you to believe, and yeah, regardless if you don't agree and disagree with it. And like I said, I'm trying to think of what else to really mention before I get off, and just leave y'all with the fact, because yeah, I just wanted to really get this out of the way. Didn't really want to think about this, aside from the millennial and just everything in general today. But yeah, it's just, we had that, we reached that breaking point to that, politics are where they are today, and it's the biggest chance of where it's just like I said, everything gets dominated. And the last 5 years, like I said, regardless, or you could say, yeah, the last definitely for the couple of years, but the last couple of years, politics have dominated, and it's like politics have been everywhere you look, that you can't. Like I said, it's almost inescapable, and you can yeah, it's everywhere in your face, everywhere you turn. And of course, like I said, it's not like you can but it's not like you can, because like I said, of course, you can put down the device, but who's not to say that 20 years, it's not like you can say that you can put down the device Well, I'm gonna just leave that as it is. But it's not. Of course, you can put down the device and not turn the internet off. But who's to say where we at a point? There's yeah, we can't get to a point now to where like technology may, of course, eventually we're gonna get there. And technology is gonna be at the point to where even the moment you go outside, you're getting something that you don't, or you're being bombarded by something that you don't want to see. Like, how can you, who's to say that? 'Cause, of course, like I said, you have AI, and of course, we at the point technology is easily the moment as a finger, or of course, you just automatically wherever you're at, whether it has to do with a device, you can just easily be assessed by it. And like I said, it's like, who's to say that? Oh, you can. It's not like it's to the point now where it's just, especially too with technology or politics, it's just it's running rampant. And like I said, who's not to say that that agenda can't hit you everywhere you turn? It's like everywhere you turn, that you're being hit in your face by something you don't want to see, and it's something that's which are that agenda. You're being hit with the agenda. So if y'all want to add to, of course, you can, but I think I'll see y'all later and stay blessed.